following content is not made for children and may be disturbing or offensive to some viewers. I might say the F word. That's right, I'm not a little baby anymore. I've done some bad things.
Sweetheart, it's time for bed.
Mom!
JoJo Siwa's bizarre rebrand has many people wondering how the former child star went from Tinkerbell to lesbian Hulk Hogan in under a year.
My brand.
Leading up to the release of her new song Karma, she has completely pivoted her entire online presence to aggressively promote it with a new bad girl persona.
Warning, the following content is not made for children and may be disturbing or offensive to some viewers.
Excuse me while I go find a pair of boots to shake in. This has had a very negative reception. Like, seriously, you can go under anything she's posted in the past month and just keep scrolling without seeing a single positive comment. She's stronger than me. Personally, whenever I see a mean comment, I have to take at least 5 minutes to cry and consider deleting the channel. And then I try to find more because I am addicted to the pain.
Like it or not, what's been in your head the last 3 days?
I don't know, JoJo. Maybe it's because every single TikTok you've posted in the past few weeks has had the song playing in the background. I know artists have to promote their work, but this is like the auditory equivalent to waterboarding. Unfortunately, it has been stuck in my head because I've had to listen to it about 8 billion times to prep for this video, and at this point, I would greatly appreciate an ice pick firmly inserted into both of my ear canals. At almost 21 years old, JoJo has decided that she's a big kid now, and she really needs everybody to know that.
A new era of life, we're becoming an adult! And actually, yesterday, I gave the heads up, like, hey, it's not for kids anymore.
Well, better late than never. JoJo has been in the limelight since she was 9 and is no stranger to controversy, but for those of us who didn't rot our brains with reality TV back in the 2010s, let's do a quick recap to see how we got here. But before we continue, I'd like to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, CookUnity. CookUnity is a meal subscription service that works with over 50 chefs from some of the best restaurants across the US to deliver a diverse menu right to your door. CookUnity is the first chef-to-consumer platform offering hundreds of meals that can be filtered with over 7 different dietary options, including vegan, paleo, and gluten-free. These meals are prepared in regional micro-kitchens, not warehouse production facilities, and are delivered fully cooked. All you have to do is heat them up. I love that there are so many options each week, with new meals inspired by cuisine from around the world constantly being added. I also appreciate that it's delivered in a reusable bag that's easy to store in the fridge. The subscription is super flexible and you can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time. Go to cookunity.com/funkyfb50 or click the link in the description and use my code FUNKYFB50 to get 50% off your first order of CookUnity meals to try them out for yourself. JoJo first appeared as a contestant on Abby's Ultimate Dance competition in 2013 and Dance Moms in 2015, shows infamous for abusing little girls so the masses could be entertained by their sweet, sweet tears while locking their families into contracts they couldn't escape. But hey, that's just showbiz, baby. Personally, I believe anyone involved in putting little girls in skimpy outfits and forcing them to perform for adults should be drawn and quartered in the town square, but that's just me. After Dance Moms, JoJo's bombastic and easily marketable personality allowed her to make her own standalone career, stocking Walmart and Claire's with her own line of dolls, bows, and asbestos-contaminated makeup. She's made many television appearances while also developing a hugely successful online platform, earning her over 45 million followers on TikTok, as well as collaborations with famous internet celebrities. Maybe some collaboration she should have passed on. Wow, is her PR team asleep at the wheel? She came out in 2021, Yas Queen, and while I will not be so bold as to pretend to understand the intricacies of lesbian relationship drama, I do know that JoJo and her ex were making TikToks with Arby's sandwiches at each other. I'll go ahead and let you puzzle out that subtle imagery for yourself. She also had a phase where she was pretending to be engaged and pregnant all the time, which, okay girl, whatever it takes to fulfill that Snapchat contract, I guess. Which brings us to February 13th, the unlucky day a Rolling Stone article sent a journalistic cannonball into the pristine brand that JoJo's family had created. Now, just to make sure I don't get a sparkly cease and desist letter from the Siwas, I just want to make it very clear that the following is alleged. Okay, JoJo? I know you're a bad girl now, but don't sue me, please. Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution aired back in 2021, a spiritual successor to Dance Moms, where a group of very young girls would compete to become members of a new pop group called XOMG Pop. According to contestant Leah Sanderson and her mother Angie, the Siwas created a nightmarish environment, pushing the girls through grueling rehearsals with little compensation and constantly trying to get them to cry for the camera. Leah was born with spina bifida, and apparently, JoJo's mother Jessalyn pressured her to attend a video shoot only a few weeks after spinal cord surgery. In another instance, Leia was bleeding from her belly button during a rehearsal, but her and her mother say Jessalyn was more concerned about getting blood on the costume and told the little girl to just slap a maxi pad over it. JoJo apparently worked with Mommy to play favorites and pit the girls against each other, at one point screaming insults at them mid-performance.
My God, JoJo!
And just as all of this nasty, alleged news broke, conveniently, it would seem, we were all subjected to this ridiculous rebrand. On April 5th, JoJo's single Karma was released. Well, the few minutes of it that she hadn't already posted. And her new, slightly melted Kiss meets the Michaels glitter section persona was officially launched. As of this recording, it is #1 on trending for music, though not for the right reasons. With a staggeringly bad like to dislike ratio, the hate for the rebrand continues to pile on, but JoJo just doesn't seem to really understand why she's getting a negative response.
Now it's like people are afraid to be different, and we're all different. We're all weird. We're all a little f***ed up. People are afraid of things they don't know. Things can be scary for people. New things can be very, very scary.
Oh, people are not hating the rebrand because it's new and scary. Maybe if you had released this in 1620, a few God-fearing Puritans would have hiked up their skirts and reported you to the church, but here in the 21st century, it's actually pretty laughably tame and uninteresting. You're humping backup dancers in a Party City wrestler costume while your heavily auto-tuned voice plays in the background. Your entire brand has been sanitized and kid-friendly for so long that your idea of edgy is about as artistically challenging as a JCPenney commercial. But I think what's most off-putting about this transition is how disingenuous it feels, and I have a theory, unrelated to games, as to why. JoJo's PR team knew that the clock was ticking before the cute little girl with the big bow was a middle-aged woman with bleached hair trying to sell children's hair accessories. Some kind of dramatic rebrand was needed, one last rib-cracking round of CPR to resuscitate her dying relevancy. If you really want to don your tinfoil hat, oh good, it still fits, all of this obnoxious, cringy behavior could be completely intentional. I mean, we're all talking about her, aren't we?
Ew, good morning to every single Steven who's absent this entire little bit. What else going today, guys? Good.
With the suspicious timing surrounding the XOMG Pop allegations, this feels less like an authentic evolution into adulthood, and more like an emergency jettison. Not to say JoJo hasn't put in a ton of work, but it just seems like a convenient ripcord they were ready to pull the moment anything came out that might damage her reputation. Now when you look up JoJo Siwa, you don't get the Rolling Stone article, you get clips of her prowling around the iHeartRadio Music Awards saying weird shit like this.
Dream guest on my podcast? Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, let's spice things up. One of my exes.
Oh? But assuming this rebrand is legitimate, JoJo seems to have a very skewed idea of what being an adult means. Maybe because of all those problematic millennials she likes to hang out with. Being in the public eye her whole life has probably shielded JoJo from a lot of normal experiences that would have allowed her to mature naturally. So now she's instead stuck cosplaying what she thinks an adult is, which leads to some really weird behavior, like getting the release dates of your songs tattooed permanently on your hands.
I have the date of Boomerang tattooed on my left hand, and then I have the date of Karma tattooed on my right hand.
I'm sincerely hoping that these are as fake as her sleeve of Inkbox tattoos, because that line work looks like it was done by Spinebreaker Bill from the state penitentiary. She's trying so hard to convince the world that she's all grown up, but she drives around in a car with her face plastered all over it, so everyone knows when JoJo Siwa cuts someone off at a stoplight, or texts while driving, or exits a sex shop with a ludicrously capacious bag.
Alright, that's everything in the register. Oh, man, I think I got the wrong kind of pantyhose. Here's our getaway driver's in position right now, let's go! Oh my god, JoJo! What are you doing? What are you thinking? JoJo! Oh, here come the cops!
Adults like tattoos, shiny cars, and sex, right? Look, JoJo is going through what for a lot of people is one of the most transformative, tumultuous, and humiliating periods of their life. I can't imagine how it would feel to go through the process of figuring out who you are with an audience of millions. I must have cycled through at least 7 different personalities between the ages of 16 and 22 before I settled for this one. It was 50% off. I can't say no to a bargain. I don't think JoJo's gonna listen to her comment section, or the yapping of 1,000 commentary YouTubers who have been starved of drama for weeks and are swarming her recent flop like so many flies to a big, delicious, steaming pile of I think at this point, she's probably lost the ability to distinguish between genuine criticism and the haters. It's far more comfortable to believe people don't like your music because it's, whoa, too edgy, man, than that it showcases a lack of talent and artistic direction. But you know what? I'll give it a shot. Hey JoJo, fire your entire PR team. You are surrounded by yes men who are willing to let you embarrass yourself so they can make a quick buck.
Number one, they're the reason that it charted before it even came out.
All press is good press usually only works in the short term. You are killing your career. Now, listen to this random asshole who records themselves in their bedroom for a living, and not even in the fun way.
I think I got the wrong kind of pantyhose.
I'm sure you've felt suffocated by the character you've had to play for the past decade, but if you really want to move on, you gotta stop trying to force this bad girl thing.
In the last few weeks, the internet has definitely made me feel like I'm a f***ing psychopath. But then I realized something. No! I realized something. I am a f***ing psychopath.
You weren't a bad girl. You weren't even a wild child. This was you literally last year. You were a really sweet kid who towed the line and built a financial empire so the adults around you could make a fortune. I think a lot of people would love to get to know the real JoJo, not the JoJo that's trying to sell them something or troll them. Your attitude in interviews doesn't come across as confident, it comes across as ignorant and immature, especially now that everyone knows that your song Karma was originally recorded by Britt Smith in 2012. And the upcoming song you teased at your release party was actually created by TikToker Emmeline. Your little rebellious phase isn't even your own. You had to buy it off of real musicians. So statements like this,
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet.
look pretty pathetic. The actual reason your rebrand is unpopular is because it's creatively stunted, inauthentic, unoriginal, and you don't even know the industry well enough to know the people you're stealing from.
I'm getting like a sexy glam Gene Simmons sea creature going on.
You know, the amount of references that people have told me I look like in this video that I have no clue what they are is sickening.
Seriously? Seriously, if you really want this rebrand to work, you need to take a step back from your insane posting schedule. I mean, just scrolling through your social media exhausts me. And you need to take time to study the great musicians that came before you and put more effort into vocal training instead of TikTok. I know I sound like a boomer, but like it's true. And if you want people to see you as an adult, the best thing you can do is make difficult adult decisions that require a lot of self-reflection and maturity. Like maybe reevaluating your relationships with certain people that may or may not have very serious allegations against them for inappropriate relationships with minors. And then you'll have a better idea of what adult-child relationships are supposed to look like, so you don't repeat the cycle of abuse that started with you back in 2013. But what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. Okay, cool, we'll end that there. We'll export it. I need to cut that, and then I gotta get some food. To what is open right now? I was a bad girl. I did some bad things.